of bread and 2 fish. See, if you want to be a part of the solution, as soon as you see an opening that could bring the solution, don't keep it for you. Tell somebody, my brother, my sister, this is the way. Don't hide it for you. The 4 lepers who were cast out of the city were able to save the entire nation of God. Because they looked at each other and said, we are not doing right. Let's go and inform our brothers and sisters. We have found some food in the Assyrians' camp. God began to multiply their steps. The Assyrians were not hearing 4 men. They heard a mighty army. They said, oh, this God of Israel don't play. Let us get out of here. They took the stuff and run and left the food and all things of value. You must speak up. Tell your neighbor, speak up, act. If you know that what you have is right and is true, tell somebody. Tell somebody how to get that good job. Tell somebody how to go ahead in life. Tell somebody, my brother, the door is here. Don't knock by the back. No, you see me knocking at the back and you're going to do like this. And you know I'm in the wrong door. Can you imagine if for a minute Andrew would say the devil is a lie? Only 5 loaves and 5 fish. Young boy, come here. These people, they are talking nonsense. Let me and you share this meal. This is God. I've been praying, Lord, send me somebody. But he didn't do that. Being a part of the solution is being able to speak out and act when you have something to build from. What do you have? As the people, the 5,000 men, women and children, I don't know how many they could have gotten, but no one in that cloud, Sister Lydia, was able to bring the solution except a boy. And I was troubled by that part because there were grown-up men in the group, grown-up women in the group. And as I said, Jesus struggled with an entire entourage. But how come none of the adults was able to provide except a boy? And I checked because I know Jesus is the one who told us in Matthew that we should let the children go to him. In all these people, no one had something to build except a boy. Ronald, I was troubled. I was troubled. Matthew 19 verse 14. I was troubled. But it tells you something. God will give you the supply if you become like a child. Because a child will never take credit when they help you. They are just happy to help. Daddy, I got you. Mommy, I got you. They don't go around and tell people how they did it. Except you become like a child. You might even not get into the kingdom. See how risky this is. When I read the Bible, I question things. We're talking about 5,000 grown-up men. You want to tell me all of them were disciples? No. Some of them were, businessmen. Some of them had some shop. When you see a crowd moving, of course some, business people, selling some water like in Ghana, in Congo, they will come, right? Yeah. Selling their stuff. None of those adults could have the supply such as bread, knowing that people will need to eat, except a boy. A boy will be able to always walk in humility. A boy will have faith. If I give away my 5 loaves and 2 fish, this Jesus can do something with them. Let me give it to these people. I've seen them. I've heard maybe some miracles. And because he was a child, he was able to have purity of heart, sanctification, pure motives. He didn't say, you guys are taking my bread and we'll see. No. He gave them the bread. You want to be able to do great things for God? Be like a child when it comes to the things of God. Don't try to be an adult. God is the only adult in the room. Look at your neighbor and say, God is the only adult in the room.
God is the only adult in the room.
It looks like you disagree with me. Look at somebody and say, God is the only adult.
The only adult
in the room.
in this room.
Neighbor, don't take God's position.
Don't take God.
You'll be in trouble. Be a child.
Be a child.
Let him be the adult.
Let him be the adult.
Because in all our qualities as adults, they could not deliver a solution. But a boy. I said, let me move. I feel like standing on this point, but I gotta move on. Tired. I gotta move on. The fourth thing that I noticed in the text, which is God's responsibility. God knows and will tell you when the next move is. See, when they got the boy, they brought the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. Jesus is the one who told them, sit the people down. See, the next move cannot be done and taken lightly. But God is in heaven. How am I going to listen to God? Through you? Through the Bible? Through a vision? Through an open vision, a closed vision? There are so many things that we need to teach the church about. But you cannot move unless God tells you to move. Because God will never engage himself in something he wasn't there in the beginning. God will tell you exactly when the next move is taking place. After they got the 5 loaves, Andrew said that, and I thank the Lord, because I don't know, but as soon as Jesus heard there was a young man with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, he told them, he said, sit the people down. Something is about to happen here. And you know what people sat down? You know what they expected? A miracle. Because we've been walking in this desert now. It's about lunchtime. Come on now. It's lunchtime. You guys have been telling us you got a miracle worker, right? Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Okay, here's this problem now. They sat down. They're looking at Jesus. Now what? What's next? See, God will tell you when is the next level. And just listen to God, because he knows exactly where to go and where to push you. If you want to be a part of the solution, learn how to listen to what God is telling you. There is a time to move on. There is a time to move forward. There's a time to be restrained. There's a time to pray. You have to understand, and as you're bouncing in life, you need to know which season is which. Because if you don't know the season, you miss so many seasons until you'll be trying to play catch up. And the people you were with, they're already gone and made it to the stadium, and you still on this corner here wondering if you still have some energy to run, because you've been talking to people on the way instead of running like everybody else. You've been worrying too much about what so and so will say instead of you following what God has called you to do. I always say this: when you go to a mega church, those people don't mind that the pastor has a jet. They don't mind that he drives a Bentley or a Rolls. But people on the outside of the church will be talking, your pastor is pimping you, he's taking your money. And this, but the people sitting on the pews, they're not blind. When you come back and you ask the history, they'll tell you, we've been with this man for 37 years. He didn't get this thing overnight. It's been some 20, 30 some years. They're built together. So who are you to come and tell me that my pastor has much or my sister has been blessed too much? Do you know the history where we come from? When we used to catch the bus, were you there? Devil is alive. So you gotta understand these things. God will tell you the next move. And I'm just gonna give you one nugget in the text. I don't know if you know this with me, but the Bible declares that when Jesus asked them to sit down, something happened.